some of your fellow House Democrats say, and not just progressives, by the way, we've heard that moderates have said this too, that they're ready to support her to challenge Chuck Schumer in a Democratic primary. Would you get behind that?
That's 4 years from now. If you were asking me at least in 2 years, that I would have an absolute answer. But I can tell you that there are a lot of people that are watching his leadership in this moment. This is the moment. We don't even know what elections will look like in 4 years, if we will have elections. And so I definitely think that younger, fresher leadership may be something that many of us, not just depending on what part of the spectrum you're on, but many Americans may be looking for, especially in the state of New York.
Last week, you were one of those who participated in a Choose Your Fighter video.
That shit's so cringe.
It got some criticism online, including Democratic Senator John Fetterman called it bizarre and reportedly mocked it in the Senate hallway. I will say that your punching looked better than some of your colleagues. Fetterman has been criticizing your party for undignified antics and a sad cavalcade of self-owns during the president's address to Congress. What's your response to Senator Fetterman?
He's not the one to talk about anything. I mean, this is a guy that doesn't seemingly want to own a suit. I'm not really sure. But I don't show up in hoodies when I'm going on the floor. And so the idea that you would say that we could not have a moment in which an influencer asked us to do this. Now, I'll be perfectly honest with you and tell you that when she asked me to jump, I said, did you ask my older colleagues to do this? Because I feel like you're picking on me because you think that my needs are a little younger. And I did not know who all was in this particular trend whatsoever. And I think that it is important that people see that we're real people. And even if that means that there's a moment to laugh, that's okay, especially since it seems like we're doing more crying than anything. But just know that we were not on the House floor jumping around at all, whereas Senator Fetterman is consistently walking around the Senate chamber, and he is walking around in such a way that they literally had to change the rules in the Senate so that he could walk around that way. So I just don't think that he's necessarily the one to actually have an opinion about this.
Why are they on TV talking shit about one another? First AOC goes and talks about Schumer. Now she's talking about Fetterman and Schumer.
I feel like this just happens, bro, because the Republicans probably did the same thing if they only agree.
I even saw Nancy Pelosi was on TV talking shit. It's like they don't get along and they don't talk directly to each other. They want to get on and just air each other dirty laundry out. Like, are you guys united or they're not?
Well, they kind of did this before, like right when Joe Biden did the first debate. It was cooking each other, especially Nancy. So I'm not surprised.
And that was at the point we realized that this party is in trouble. And like since then, they've yet to get together. They fake like they're in unison. Yet every time something goes wrong, they get on TV and start pointing the finger and bashing one another. Like, how can you get any productive work done if you can't trust your colleagues? Like they clearly don't trust each other. It seems like to me, every man for itself. Like that's literally the message that they're sending. Like every day, if somebody doesn't do something that wasn't in favor of the Democrat Party, they just get on TV and talk shit on them.
Somebody
that's what
said,
they do.
I saw on the internet, it's the difference between Democrats and progressives. They're trying to say that Jasmine and AOC is more progressive, and there's actually just regular Democrats that's in the party.
I would have to say I agree with that.
So the progressives is supposed to be considered the like far left.
Yeah, I mean they're the ones fighting for the illegal immigrants, the transgenders, the men and women spaces. Men can be women. They the progressives. They the ones that think that's okay. They the reason that the Democrat Party is in trouble.
Either way, they got to get it together though. This isn't going to help right here.
But I don't blame her for saying Fetterman. Yeah, he need to wear a suit. If they got on Zelensky ass for not wearing a suit, he need to wear a suit.
I have to agree.
I agree, but he also tells the truth about the Democrat Party more than any of the Democrats though.
He's the only one that just like he knows that they suck.
Like he be telling the truth more than what they do. So I can't even really get upset with Fetterman about that. And doesn't he have like a disorder or something like something?
He had like brain surgery.
But that don't mean you can't wear a suit. Come on.
Yeah, like he has
if they got on Zelensky ass about a suit, he for sure should wear.
I'm not gonna
suit.
lie. The fact that he's just so underdressed, like he doesn't even wear like a polo or slacks. He wears a hoodie in shorts and tennis shoes.
Like he finna go get him some buckets.
Like it's not even. He didn't even like he's going to the gym. He looks like he like when you get up to go to the gas station. I got to keep it 100 though. If he's gonna be an elected official and he's supposed to be someone of status and that deserves respect, you need to command respect with your attire. And he doesn't do that.
I do get that.
First of all, the mood of the country. This really jumped out. We asked folks, is it on the right direction or the wrong direction? That 44% you say right direction, that's up since November. And if that doesn't seem like a lot, the last time it cracked 40%, you got to go back to 2012. The last time it actually hit 44 or higher, January of 2004. So a lot of this is Republicans, but independents, that number is also up since the election on the direction of the country. Also, just Trump and his base, we monitor this. Among Republicans, look at this, basically 3 out of 4 Republicans say it's a very positive view they have of Trump, not just positive. Again, at this point in his first term, it was only 50. It's just the strengthening of that base, 74%. The tightness they feel in terms of their connection with him. And then there's the Trump agenda. There are some popular elements of it here. Handling of border security and the immigration issue. 55% approval. That goes beyond his base. You see right there. You hear about Doge there in the setup. And broadly speaking, the people do think this is a popular idea here. A good idea, 46%. Bad idea, 40%. Look at it this way. When you ask folks, what should Doge be doing going forward, a third say much more. 28% say Doge is needed, just needs to slow the pace down. But that's 61% total who seem to say that Doge is basically a good thing, a necessary thing right now. Where it gets complicated for Trump, the man who's leading Doge, negative 51%, a majority negative rating for Elon Musk right here. Also, federal workers, we just asked folks, they have a positive, negative view, much more positive than negative in terms of federal workers. And then for Trump, there is, we say, not slippage since the election, 49? But the warning signs. And it's on broader areas of his leadership. Look at this. And all of these areas you see right here, Kristen, foreign policy, the Russia-Ukraine war, majority disapproval at this point for Trump.
And the economy is a red flag because that's the lowest number we have seen on the economy in the history of our poll for President Trump.
That's right. In his first term, this was the exception. He had low numbers overall his first term, but not on the economy.
So the fact that 54% don't like him on the economy, maybe because a lot of the things in the agenda haven't been focused towards the economy. I can understand that. The inflation, inflation is down. The price of eggs is down. Airline fees are down. All these things are trending downward. The inflation and economy thing, if the media did a better job of covering these things, I bet those percentages would change a little bit.
And we got to think about this is an MSNBC poll. This is a liberal channel poll.
Yeah.
So we don't really know
policies. What it is. I can see why people say foreign policy because they don't understand the tariffs.
The tariffs, the foreign aid, et cetera, Greenland, Canada, all that.
But the Ukraine is so crazy to me. So people want us to continue to let them fight.
Bro, this is their poll. Bro.
I know, but that's still crazy to me. People want them to continue to fight than having peace.
Honestly, I bet if he had more deportations, I bet that approve would be higher. But I don't understand why everyone's so upset that he ran on the fact that he was going to deport people when that was a majority popular ideology. Everyone that was polled was in favor of that. Why was everyone so upset? The thing that shocked me the most was the mass dislike of Elon, but the way they describe him on the news and the way there's a collective attack against everything Elon, that makes sense to me.
Yeah, it's because they got too much other Twitter stuff he be dropping too.
It's not even that, bro. It's the coordinated media attack against him. Everybody in the media and on the Democrat side, President Elon this, Elon that, Nazi this, Nazi that. They're always attacking Elon every day.
Anything positive in the media about Elon.
There's literally nothing positive.
You can find some stuff about Trump and you can just see how the economy's ran and how everything's ran and just say, well, maybe they're tripping with Trump. But Elon is literally nothing. It's all negative.
Literally everything.
Unless you look it up. Negative. Unless you go on government efficiency on X and you see the positive things he's doing and Doge is doing. That's the only way you're going to see
real life burning Teslas and stuff. They said people that's burning Teslas is considered a terrorist attack now. Because they say it's politically motivated, right? Yeah, that's what a terrorist attack is, right? Politically motivated.
But to me, while this is a reality reality check for Democrats is because this is also a liberal media, a liberal outlet showing these numbers. And if the majority of the American people really voted on this, I'm pretty sure it would be way more people in favor of all these things, to me personally. But I don't know, it could be still half and half. But at the same time, though, this is a liberal media poll, and these numbers look pretty good for Trump, in my opinion, for a liberal poll.
Yeah,
federal
employees, that shocked me a little bit. 'Cause a lot of people.
But I still don't, man. Polls, some one day I'm happy about them. One day I'm just like, polls.
The thing about polls is they fluctuate. They're very up and down. So, I mean, the fact that he's like in the 40%, 45, it's all like mid 40s on all those approved. So, I mean, all that is like something that can be fixed. So that to me is not super concerning.
If they allow him to fix it.
I mean, of course they're going to allow him to fix it. What are we, 2 months in? Almost 2 months in?
They trying to stop everything he do. Anything positive.
Bro, they only listen, from what I've seen is they only put up like the act like they're going to stop it. There's really not much they can do to stop it. The House, the Senate.
We kind of seen a couple of stuff they have stopped.
What have they stopped?
Women in men's sports.
But they
turned that over.
Yeah, but they finna re-bring that up, and I promise you, that's
it's only been 20 days.
Hey,
boy, it's only getting started.
Hey, that's just shit. Hey, I'm just saying. They niggas vetoing stuff.
They finna cancel that shit.
I'm a big fan of the oldies, and when it comes to the feelings that Americans, voters at large, and Democrats have, I can't help but think of Chubby Checker. Why is that? Because the question is, how low can you go? Voters' views of Democrats in Congress, the lowest ever approval ratings on record per Quinnipiac University. Look at this. Approve 21% among all voters. Look at the disapprove level. Holy Toledo, 68% of all voters disapprove of how Democrats are doing in Congress.
68.
Now, you might think that is low, and this is the lowest number on your screen here, down at 21%. But I want to bring you over here to how Democratic voters feel, because this is truly unbelievable. Amongst their own party, how do Democratic representatives, senators, how are they viewed? Get this, the plurality disapprove at 49%. More Democrats disapprove of the job that their party is doing in Congress than approve. Get this, only 40% approve. These are truly horrific numbers. They're in the trash bin of history. That is how low these approval ratings are. When you can't even get plurality approval among your own party, you know you're doing something wrong in the eyes of the American public, Jessica.
They are in the trash bin of history. Yikes.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do Democrats then want out of their congressional Democrats?
Yeah, what do Democrats want from their own party, right?
Yeah.
Do they want them to agree with Trump more, or do they want them to oppose Trump more? Okay. Democrats in Congress oppose Trump too often, just 4%. How about the right amount? Just 19%. How about not enough? You don't have to be a mathematical genius to know that this is the largest number on your screen. 77% of Democratic voters say that their party in Congress does not oppose Donald Trump nearly enough.
That's
crazy. So you might be thinking to yourself, with this shutdown that did not actually happen, where the Democrats gave Trump and the Republicans the votes, I can tell you with pretty much no doubt that their party, at least in the American public, does not like that. They want them to fight Trump more. When you get 77% of your own party agreeing on something, you know that is the direction that they wish their representatives and senators in Congress in Washington actually went.
Interesting. And had there been a government shutdown, would it have hurt Democrats among all voters?
77%.
Right. So we're talking about
the big question.
Yeah, that's the big question, right? Because amongst Democrats, we know that they wanted their representatives and senators in Washington to fight Trump more. But what about the entire public? Because sometimes there's disagreements between those two sides, right? And if perhaps they had forced a shutdown, or they had not given Republicans the votes, that might have actually been something bad amongst the overall public, right? That might have backfired amongst the overall public. But in this particular case, I think the Democratic base was in the right position here, at least when it comes to the American public. Because take a look here. Blame for a government shutdown. Just 32% of voters would have blamed the Democrats in Congress. Look at this. 53% would have said Trump or the Republicans in Congress. Democrats would not have been blamed for a shutdown based upon the numbers that we have seen. Now, an actual shutdown might have played out a little bit differently, but at least on the polling data that we have, Jessica, everything was saying that Democrats should not give in to Trump and the Republicans in Congress. They should have, in fact, taken a stance because that's what their base wanted, and the American public would have sided with them as well. The bottom line is Republicans and Trump would have been blamed in this case, not the Democrats in Congress. I'm honestly not quite sure exactly what Chuck Schumer was thinking, at least when it comes to the American public and the blame game.
Okay, so based on this data, I've definitely got a lot more clarity on the Democrats Party's struggles. Obviously, the reason that they're so anti-Trump and everything they do is blame Trump is because based on the data, that's what their voters want.
Yeah.
So that's what they do. This is their way to show that they're fighting and giving the voters what they want. They cannot side with Trump, even if it's good for us. 77% of their base wants that. 77% of the people that put them in these positions want that. They want them to get up there and fight Trump and Elon. So that's why we see what we see.
It's hard for me to believe that, but it's also true, though. Because me just going on people's social media and seeing all these liberals, like even on YouTube, it's thousands of liberals want them to go against what Trump is doing. So
like, what do they want?
And I see why they're all mad at Chuck Schumer, saying this is a betrayal. This is a betrayal. They wanted the government to shut down because they knew that they would the American public would have blamed Trump for that, even if it was their fault. But on the other hand of that, on the flip hand of the fact that the American people would have blamed the GOP, I mean, the GOP has the majority. So if they can't get what they want to pass and the Democrats can stop them, whose fault is it then? You know, you got all the power in your favor. You have to get your agenda passed.
Man, some days
77% is still crazy.
77% is insane.
I really just hate polls some days, because this doesn't make sense, though. Like, if 77% of people wanted them to go against what Trump is doing, why is these numbers like this? Why 68% of them disapprove? Or
68% is all voters. So that's even Republican voters as well.
Yeah, okay. But why does 49% disapprove what Democrats are doing in Congress?
That's 49% of their own base disapprove. So 50% of all Democrats don't like Democrats, and 70% of all voters, regardless of affiliation, don't like Democrats. So right now they're completely underwater. They're completely underwater. They're underwater with their own people and with the people they got to flip.
But that's weird because
never mind. That makes sense.
They can't flip nobody, but they want people to be more radical.
Okay, that makes sense. If they're disapproving what they're doing, they're probably disapproving that they're not going against Trump.
Yeah. So I'd say that 49% is mad because they're not doing enough to beat Trump and overcome Trump, and the 70% is just realizing how shitty the party has become, how weak they are. Because everything they're doing is backfiring. Like, they keep trying to fight Trump, and they keep losing.
But they got to, though.
They have to.
They have to. Like, in the position they in, they have to fight against Trump for their voters.
I don't know.
They said it's 77%. That's more than half.
But then it all comes back down to the media and just telling, like, what's the real story and what people really want and what's really happening. Well, they're telling what people really want.
But they actually really probably want this.
I actually saw a video
Some
today.
people,
we should
exactly.
Put it on
That's
there.
why it's weird, you know. So it's
like, what do people want?
You gotta kind of tell, I guess, like, what's really going on, man. Like,
bro, a lot of people is in front of Tesla stations right now protesting against
put this
Elon,
on the video.
bro.
This is a former Obama aide that said the Democrat Party is as far underwater as he's ever seen.
Obama said it?
No, one of his former people that worked on his campaign.
They're as far underwater with young voters as I've seen, and I work for Obama. I've not seen Democrats this far underwater. Heck, only 49% of African Americans have a positive view of it. So a lot of this is really around the core and these young voters, and that fight that you see happening right now is really sort of encapsulating the problem for Democrats.
They're cooked.
49%.
This is only 27% of young people have a positive feeling towards the Democrat Party.
Because
I mean,
they canceling out men.
I just think a lot of this stuff they just tell young people, like, they're just, I don't know, millennials are just more accepting of this shit than young people are. And like, luckily for our generation, we have people who are public figures and influencers who are speaking against this, who have a lot of influence, like Aiden Ross, Jake Paul, Logan Paul, Sneeko, et cetera, all these internet people with millions of followers who are saying this shit is pussy. Like, we can't get down with this. And young men are getting tired of told they're wrong for wanting to be men. Like, they try to attack that actor, Anthony Mackie, for coming out and saying he wants his boys to be masculine men. He said the death of masculinity in America. They was on Twitter calling him radicalist, and they saying they hate him. And he also has said he took a gay role to better understand gay people in his life. And they attacked him because he said he wanted his sons to be masculine. Like, these people don't know what they want. Of course people are seeing that. Why would I align myself with these people?
And it's because of people like Jasmine, though. Like, what she's said, like, I don't know if we're gonna have an election in 4 years. Like, who really truly believes that? You know?
Yeah, she's dumb.
But and some people that do.
She probably actually do believe that.
No,
man
bro.
is-
I don't think. I think she knows exactly what they're doing. I know the reason why they get on here and say this bullshit based on the data we just saw is for their base. Their base believes this shit. That's why they're so.
But it's like it's in her right pocket to throw it out there. It's just like.
But it's also CNN's fault, bro. They're not supposed to
always
air
throw
shit
it
like
out,
this because
bro.
they know this shit. But I mean, that's what they believe. I guess she's a congresswoman, man. So I guess they have to allow it.
I know she doesn't believe this.
But-
I know that nobody. I know they don't believe any of this shit they say. I think all of this is bull. I think they're saying this to rile their base up because obviously the people that vote for this crap at this point still believe this. That's why 77% of their party thinks if all of this shit you say is true, you're not doing enough to fight.
Yes,
that's why they believe it because they say this shit and they believe it.
Okay. What about AOC? You don't think a little bit in AOC heart that she believes the shit she be saying?
I think AOC thinks she's a hero. AOC is a freaking idiot. I think AOC is the dumbest person in Congress. She is my least favorite.
Yeah, she probably is.
She is the Joy Reid of Congress.
So you don't think a tad bit of Jasmine? You think y'all really think right here that Jasmine know what's going on?
I think she 100% she knows she's
going to be Hitler.
Facts.
No.
I think 100% she knows she's saying bullshit. 100%. AOC maybe she's a little slow, but I think she knows she's saying bullshit.
Based off
she knows
the Barack and Biden clip that just went viral of them trying to make a Doge. They know that this shit's cap.
I think they just going past that. They just automatically feel that.
Bro.
They're not even looking at his policies. I feel like
they're just radical, bro. They're just radical, and that's what it is, guys. This is humiliating for the Democrats.
She probably really believe it, bro.
And yeah, they're in shambles, guys. We're looking at it. I mean, they're cooked, guys. That's what it is until they fix it.